Lesson 69 is called Absolute Value and Adding Signed Numbers. And to begin this lesson off, let's talk about absolute value. Now here we have the definition, and absolute value is just a number's distance from zero. When we're working with a number line, that can be easy to see. An absolute value is always going to be a positive answer. So let's go ahead and say we have something like, we'll say we have the absolute value of 6. Now these bars, these vertical bars, they always mean absolute value. So the absolute value of 6, well, that's going to be equal to 6, because 6 over here on our number line is 6 spaces away from 0. That's how we can find absolute value. Now let's say we have another problem. Let's say we have the absolute value of negative 6. We want to find how far negative 6 is away from 0. So we're not concerned whether it's positive or negative, because negative 6, the absolute value of negative 6, that's 6 units away from 0. So we have an answer of 6 again. If we had something like the absolute value of, let's say, negative 17.2, well, the absolute value of negative 17.2 is equal to positive 17.2. So absolute value will always turn our answer into a positive number, even if it began as a positive number. Let's look at a few examples with adding signed numbers. What we want to do is use arrows in a number line to add negative 3 and positive 1. So if we're looking at negative 3, well, that's backwards to the left from 0. So what we're going to do to use arrows in a number line to solve is we're going to start out from 0, then we're going to go backwards negative 3 units. So we end at the negative 3. We're adding negative 3 and positive 1. So we've got our negative 3, we need our positive 1. Positive 1 moves back to the right on our number line, so we've got our answer. Our answer is right below where our final arrow ends up. We've got negative 2. So we could have said negative 3 plus 1 is going to be equal to negative 2. But the question asked us to use arrows in a number line to solve, so we've got to show this work to get our full credit. Let's look at another problem. We want to use arrows in a number line again to determine positive 2 plus positive 1 and negative 2 plus positive 1. Well, let's do our first one first. Positive 2 plus positive 1. Start at 0. We're going positive 2 over. Then we're going to go positive 1 more over. And positive 1 more, that leaves us at 3. Now you know that. You know that 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. But we can use arrows in a number line to help us visualize that. Now our next one. Let's go ahead and use blue. We've got negative 2 plus positive 1. So I'm going to erase. Pause the video now if you need more time. We have negative 2 first, so we're starting at 0 because that's our origin. And since we have negative 2, we go backwards 2. Then we have positive 1, so we go forward 1 to the right, and you can see where we end up at our answer. We've got negative 1. So negative 2 plus positive 1 is going to be equal to negative 1. Using those arrows in a number line helps us to see that. We'll practice this more with our lesson practice on page 220. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.